Hello, this is Redman here, testing my first stream. Okay, so what the hell is going on with YouTube? Let me see. Let me refresh it. Okay, let's go. So, we will be talking about the era of YAPA YAPIS. So, today we are going to talk about Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit. And let's start it.
All the way to the disgraceful yet predictable downfall. This is the full timeline of the rise and fall of the Fresh and Fit podcast. The Fresh and Fit podcast originally wasn't even called Fresh and Fit. Hell, originally it wasn't even two people. At first, it was just one person. That person being Myron, aka Amru Fuddle, the more well-known half of the duo, the one who does all the talking and really made Fresh and Fit what it is today. Originally, this podcast was called Weight and Dates, but the person who he hosted it with was not Fresh. It was another guy who we covered here on this channel, who I won't even touch on because I already have a video on this scumbag and I'm all Donovan sharped out. But yes, this is the person who gave Myron his first shine. In hindsight, knowing the character of the first person Myron publicly looked up to, it's not hard to see why and how FNF went down the path they went down. It started when he bought a consultation from Donovan Sharp.
So it started, man. I actually got a consultation with Donovan, and we're talking about, shooting stuff about fitness, game, everything like that.
Donovan eventually thought, hey, this guy is knowledgeable. Let me make a show with him called Weights and Dates.
Everything like that. I was like, hey, man, you're a pretty knowledgeable guy. Would you like to come on the show? And I was like, dude, it'd be an honor. And he had me on, and we talked about fitness. We did a show.
All right, let's get right to it. My special guest this evening is none other than the fittest man I know, my man, Mr. Myron Gaines, who I had the pleasure of meeting down in Orlando last weekend.
This went so well that Donovan not only encouraged Myron to make his own show and podcast,
And then I'll never forget, Donovan was like, hey, man, you need to make a YouTube channel.
he also invited him back to be on The Six, which was a panel show that featured a lot of guys in the red pill. Kevin Samuels, most notably, and another person by the name of Solo TV 84, just to name a few. Keep that in your back pocket for later. They will be relevant. Anyway, Myron didn't find too much success in his own right at the time, even with the boost from Donovan Sharp. He was doing all right, but not quite your day job levels of all right. It might sound impossible, but yes, at one point, Donovan Sharp was actually relevant. Imagine that. Before Donovan got exposed, again, more info in this video.
So, these guys are, you know, red pill, how they say it, um, like picking up girls category. And so, let me explain, okay? Um, why I call these, people yapa yapis? Because they just yap and yap, and that's it. I mean, there's no substance to these people. What I call them charlatans. And to be honest, they have made a huge living of these categories, and for me, they are fraudsters, cheaters, or mind. Please mind my English. It's not my first language. And I'm a little bit nervous because it's my first stream. So we are going to deep dig into these internet personalities and what they're about. So in this episode, we're just going to concentrate on Myron Gaines. And we know that he was some American, um, how they called it, federal agent of some sort. Then he quit his job and started this podcast in his flat, in his uh, wherever he lived. in a small room or whatever. I don't know how you do that. And it's not his original name. Anyway, he can use any name he wants to. There's another guy from Barbados. That's another character that we are going to dig into him in next episode. But um, there was let me tell you, there was uh, I used sometimes to watch their podcasts, and there was something. This guy Myron, he he said something that it stuck in my mind. He said that when he was that federal agent, he was like stopping crimes and whatever. But yeah, he something like he was like rescuing children from, I don't know, organized crime syndicates or whatever it was. And then he says that it is much better to rescue men from feminism, from whatever his podcast is about. So he's the next messiah, for men. Okay, so let's um, let's see whatever it's he's about. Okay.
Video, he was actually a kingmaker. Kevin Samuels, seen as the second coming to a lot of these misguided men. Donovan Sharp was the one who put him on before he was even known. Just pearly things as well, and of course, fresh and fit. Anyways, it was around this time that Myron met Solo TV 84. This is the guy who introduced Myron to Fresh, aka Walter Weeks, and thus began the Fresh and Fit podcast. Solo TV coincidentally subscribes to my channel, and I've got lots of videos critiquing the Red Pill and Red Pill creators. So if he subbed as what I assume to be an ex-Red Pillar, you, the viewer, you know what to do. From this point on, Fresh and Fit was in its crawling stages. A lot of the videos and live streams were genuinely self-improvement focused. Things like the truth and fitness, is fasting superior, do looks matter, and general actionable advice that is actually helpful. Then when you take a look at the live streams, it's stuff like how to find success with women in Europe, social media versus real life for dating, and bedroom tips as well. A far cry from what FNF has become, as those of you who are familiar with them no doubt know. It continued a lot like this for some time, having the guys that have put them on first, or that they collab with first, like Minister Jap, Donovan Sharp, Kevin Samuels, and the rest of them on. But it didn't find anywhere close to the same success they eventually grew to regularly enjoy, found in their after hours. It wasn't until one day that they had some girls in the studio and they decided to go live with said girls and interview them.
Yo, guys, we have some lovely ladies in the studio tonight. They're all beautiful. But we want to say one thing. It's gonna be fun tonight. It's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
So,
Okay. So first question, right?
Women,
Yeah.
a blonde in one studio. What else are you trying to
Hey,
do?
man, it's lit.
First question, right? What do girls want in a guy?
Boom.
From this point on, FNF didn't know this yet, but they struck gold. You might look at the YouTube scene and see everyone and their mom interviewing women and asking them what their body count is,
Just gave
picking
him
out
a 9.
women.
You gave me a 2. You only gave me a 2 because of the whole interaction that we've been having, right?
So here I have a problem. I have a huge problem with this type of shows, because you know what I've seen is they just degrade these girls that come in their shows, and they just, I mean, it's they ask questions, and then they just make fun of everything, about their weight, their looks, what they do. And for me, it's so hard to understand why these girls come to these type of shows knowing what these people are about. But we are going to discuss this later, so just have a look, a deep insight about these shows, and then we'll be explaining, or just I'll be explaining what I think about all this.
So do me a favor, get the fuck up and get the fuck out.
But Fresh and Fit were the pioneers of this whole thing. They were the ones who stumbled upon the formula and figured it out first. Many people have tried and failed.
And the other thing is uh, look at him. He's sitting with shorts because it's his house. It's not a studio, a place where you have all the settings. It's his flat. I don't know how they say it in his living space, and he's he's sitting in shorts. I mean, look at that. Look at that. He's sitting in shorts, and the other sample, the other, this idiot. For me, both of these are two, um, grifters, um, and and I think they are banned from like every uh, social media um, company. I Twitch, YouTube. I think in YouTube they are demonetized. But they had a huge run because both of these guys they earned a lot of money, degrading women in general, and just the type of, especially this Myron guy, the type of things he said about women, it's mind-boggling. And um, for certain, I think that there's a huge problem with these Western societies, and this man just knew how to tap the the current social environment that we have in Western countries, where there's a bit of tension. Women are working, they are more independent, and like there are some things that need to be addressed. It's not perfect, but this doesn't give any man, and especially these are the men, they claim to be high value men, uh, uh, and if you um, just look at this high value man, uh, sentence, and the qualities and the traits that they attach, is just so materialistic and so shallow, I would say.
Of this whole thing. They were the ones who stumbled upon the formula and figured it out first. Many people have tried and failed miserably. For example, the fake and the pretender. More info on this cornball in these videos. And others have tried it too, and they've arguably made it even better, like the Whatever podcast. Note that I'm just looking at the numbers. I think the entire niche of asking women the same question is played out and boring, but the fact still stands that FNF were the ones who started this whole thing. From this point on, it was business as usual. Growing pretty fast in their niche of the red pill, not making too many waves outside of that, and generally giving a peek into the dating world of Miami. At this point, their fan base, although still red pillars, was a lot more tame. The launching pad that finally shot Fresh and Fit into the mainstream was Kevin Samuels. His appearance on FNF through a phone call was the first time they went viral for real. Kevin Samuels at the time was also going viral. While Fresh and Fit are known for the whole inviting women on the show and making fun of them thing now, Kevin Samuels started this aspect. And before I get the Kevin Samuels fanboys in the chat saying he did it to both men and women, I know that is technically true, but I have never seen a viral Kevin Samuels clip of him doing it to a man. We all know why he's famous. He wasn't known for holding men accountable. He is known for telling women they're average at best, that and the rest of that. Keep it a buck. That's what people tuned in for. Even in that Fresh and Fit collab video that got them so many views? What was it for?
There's a hierarchy of needs. You are correct. We
Right,
all
and we don't need you,
college.
and we don't need you. You need us.
Great. I don't need you either.
I know we need you. We don't need you for survival. You need us for survival.
Clearly wasn't for holding Fresh accountable or Myron accountable. Nope, it was for what he was known for. Sidebar here. I'll never understand the attraction to asking someone their standard and then telling them that they'll never get it. To me, it seems wholly boring. All this high value man talk from Fresh and Fit. By now, we've seen the biggest supporters at their yacht parties and their Twitter spaces, and well, let's just say I'm not sure that even the worst Miami girl has one of these high value men on their radar. Anyways, this was a very key and pivotal point for Fresh and Fit for two reasons. One reason was lesser known and lesser talked about. Of course, it's key because Fresh and Fit now is co-opting the success of Kevin Samuels, and the video went viral. The stream itself is sitting at 650k views at the time of this writing, and the video clips that came from the situation were probably seen over 1 million times between Fresh and Fit and their other clip channel / reposters. But the other way this is a turning point for Fresh and Fit, unbeknownst to anyone involved, was due to the beef that would later come out between FNF and the very person apparently that they looked up to and helped them so much, Kevin Samuels. But before we get to that, there are some in-between things to be spoken about. FNF was starting to see a formula. Invite girls on, interview them, say some controversial things, cuss them out, dunk on them, and that equals views. Myron went viral on TikTok many times.
They banned you for telling the truth on TikTok.
Yeah, the video that got me banned was basically when I said, basically, this is what happened. I made a video and I said, hey guys, when a girl says, let's reschedule, I said, you need to punish her for that bad behavior. And when you meet her on the date, she needs to pay for the first drink. The feminists went crazy because I said punish and bad behavior. And I said, you can't reinforce good behavior with good treatment if she flakes. And they're like, oh my God, you're treating her like a dog. And it's like, what it's really come down to is this. Women don't want to be held accountable for flaking on men.
One of which was because he said punish bad behavior in relation to a girl canceling a date. In context, not gonna lie, I do understand what he's saying. Basically, don't be a doormat, and when you do reschedule, I think playfully saying, oh, you gotta buy me a drink because you came late is actually not that bad. But he used the words punish because, like I said before, they want controversy. It's a double-edged sword because Myron is fine with being the villain. It actually worked well for some time using this strategy. Their fan base was completely separate from the fan base that got angry at the punish bad behavior thing, so they lost literally no traction. And in fact, they gained more. Quick crash course about cancellation is that it only works if the fans care. For example, Donald Trump correctly stated, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? Because Donald Trump has the ultimate cancel deterrent, and that's a fan base that literally likes him on the basis of him being him. Nothing he does can change that, including but not limited to bloody murder. The other
Okay, guys, this video is from the Don Uzi, and I think it's a really good video about these guys. So we'll just see a little bit of that, and then we are going to move on some other videos about this Myron guy, and I'll do some I'm going to comment on some of the things. Okay,
not as reliable but still workable way of deterring a loss of fan support, aka cancellation, is having the controversy be separate from what you're liked for, which is what happened in the case of FNF. Like I said, the fans like this, so it naturally escalated to kicking girls out of the studio for their bad behavior. It was so well received that it became a staple in their
that's what triggered me, you know, about this guy, and just let's go and see how this, you know, it's a test stream, guys, so I'm just trying to do some of the things that are new to me, and I'll just try to improve, you know, as I do more of these streams. So let's go and see one of his, you know, where he kicks out these girls from his studio. So yeah, you see, look at that. The ultimate fresh and fit Frank Castle compilation. So let's get into it. Male mentality. So Frank Castle, I think it's a movie. It's an action movie and whatever. You know, in United States, they just make, like, I think it's language of its own. The culture and everything they attach, you know, to the things. It's you know, the people who live outside of United States, and you know it will be especially if they're like me, if English is not their first language, it is very hard to sometimes to get along with the with the words that they use, like Frank Castle. Now Frank Castle is a movie that I know, but here, the Ultimate Fresh and Fit Frank Castle compilation. So meaning that he Frank Castles them. So let's see a little bit of that, okay?
The difference between me and other guys is I challenge you on your stupidity. That's the difference. When you say something dumb, I'm going to tell you.
So his favorite, his favorite language is one of the things that he says: you are dumb, you are you don't have you don't have any intelligence, like, look at that, look here, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and maybe more, 9 girls are sitting there. Sorry. So there are 9 girls sitting there, and what he says, let's, what the, okay, I hope so.
That's the difference. When you say something dumb, I'm going to tell you, okay, that was dumb. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Okay.
So if you're going to say your facts aren't right,
Yeah,
what fact exactly was not correct, and refute it with facts?
No, I mean,
Not
honestly, I don't want to keep dragging the show longer.
It's not about dragging the show. It's about if you're going to make.
So I mean, the girl said, I think she's very uneasy, uncomfortable, and I think you should be. But, these 9 girls, and he just targets this girl, and she's good looking, and the way she speaks, I think she speaks better than this YAPA YAPI, this yapping, he's speaking, but he's speaking nothing. It's nothing. He adds nothing to nothing. It's just, it's like a grifter, a fraudster, how would I say that, a real I mean, I won't say stupid, because he's crook, but there's no foundation, to the, he just took some of the things, and then he just he expands on them, and he makes his living on that. So I really don't think this guy calling this girl dumb, makes him an intellectual, and we will see how stupid this guy is.
Make a statement, back it up.
The raping thing was wrong. Like, I just
What
didn't want
part
to
was
go back.
incorrect? Which part was
You
incorrect?
were basically saying like a woman should just say no right then and there and leave. Not
Yeah,
all
they
girls
should.
can do that though.
Okay, but that's what they should do. That doesn't
That's
mean
what they should do, but not all girls are able to.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that?
I'm guessing us women, right? I'm not.
I'm guessing it's our fault. You gotta bear some responsibility.
I'm guessing.
Okay, you're saying responsibility, but like we said, these men are two-faced. They are going to put on a front.
Who picked the man?
They put on a front.
Sorry,
Right.
I'ma just leave. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable when it comes down to.
Okay, so great. I think this girl did a great job. I think all of these girls should have left. When this girl said, I'm going to leave, all of the other girls should have left. If you have a little bit of dignity, and another thing is, he does not let, the invitees speak. I mean, he just cuts them in the middle, and then he rephrases the things that she anteriorly said, and then he just he just goes crazy, you know. um okay, let's see.
The whole rape conversation and where you guys stand on
All right,
that.
bye. All right,
later.
bye.
There's no need to be rude.
Just leave. Just leave.
All right.
Just
Two more minutes.
how you feel versus what's real are two different things.
All right, later. Bye.
We've debunked rape
Yeah,
culture.
yeah, yeah,
Rape
yeah,
culture is a
bye.
myth. It's not as common as
You
people
know,
say it is.
Yo, she
Like,
like
you
this
want to
recorder-
go?
So he's talking about rape culture is a myth. Make sense of it. Rape culture is a myth. I mean, you got to be, I don't know.
Cry outside.
Yeah.
Like
Go,
cry.
go, yeah,
This is an adult conversation. If you can't divorce your emotions from reality, that's two different things. Does anyone else want to join her?
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
us
cool.
too.
Leave.
Yeah, leave. Yep. Who else? Go ahead.
Who else?
Boom. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
by myself.
Get up and
go
leave.
ahead. Yep. Get up and leave.
Get up and leave.
Yep. 3, 4.
Okay, so so three more girls, two more girls left. I don't know, two or three more girls left, and that is good. I don't know if she was with them. I don't know. I think all of these girls should have left, you know. And the other thing is, why these girls, you know, I think before coming to any podcast, um, they should have known what type of content these people do, and all the clips and the fame that these guys have on internet. I just don't understand. You know, you're going to a podcast to be bullied, uh, and to be insulted, and still you go there. I just cannot understand that. And you know, I would say these girls are not saints. These girls are looking for, you know, clout, to be famous. But if you're going, I mean, if your path, you know, your journey to getting fame is going to this you know, these two morons, to their podcast, and to be denigrated as worthless, called ugly, dumb bitches. Mind my language, I'm sorry. But all kinds of things that these two, I mean, this guy especially, he says, and still you go there. And if you challenge this guy on any topic that he has, and I really don't know if what are the topics, because it's just the same. Okay. um and the other thing, I would say that you know, this is a very toxic behavior, and it's not like, let me tell you one thing. These men, or men like them, they are not high value. They are just toxic people. And you know, men are toxic as well as female, you know. uh, Females are toxic also. It's but um, what I would say is, people who are always negative and, you know, like that, I think you should be very careful dealing with these type of people, men or women alike. And this this guy, uh, you know, he feeds on that. And why I'm showing this clip, because for him, kicking out these girls was a huge money maker. And that is why he, right now, I think he's demonetized on YouTube. But he has a website or something like that. And then all these clips where he kicks kicks out these girls, he makes compilation of them, and then he has put a money tag. You have to pay to see this thing that he's doing right now. I mean, you have to understand. I mean, what kind of man is going to do that? And who are the people who are going to watch that? You know, it's all contradictory. What he tells as a man, high value man, he thinks that if you're going to gym and you're in good shape and you have some money, you are a high value man, and that has nothing. It's not even to be a man, you know less to be a high value man. So from the very start, what his his doctrine philosophy of high value man is so shallow, I would say. So okay, let's see what this guy is doing. I mean,
You know what? More record them, and all it does is it just shows that emotions literally rule.
and I'm sorry, guys, I'll be working on my English, and it's just a test stream. I'm just testing myself and how all this thing works. So please bear in mind that. And right now, this the other guy, the Fresh Prince CEO, uh, the one now he's starting. He took some classes to. He has been living in United States for like I don't know how many years. I can see that he has some speech problems, but he always the, like 3-4 years he has been sitting there, and in 3 hours 4 hours he just says 4 5 things, and that's it. Very short sentences. um and I'm going to talk about this fresh guy also, because he is also in it. He's no innocent. He's no I think he is even bigger grifter than Myron. uh Hypocrite. Both of these two guys are huge hypocrites, but this fresh guy, he literally, how would I say, a person that flip-flops on a dime is that kind of person this fresh guy is. So bear in mind.
Emotions, women's actions. Here's the
Still
thing.
got
Here's
receipts,
the difference.
though.
We make
I
fun of
still got
everyone.
streets.
We have fun with it. It's satire. She does it
Exactly.
on Twitter openly, disrespectful. She's a musician. She ain't no
Okay,
comedian.
but I feel like we're like
So-
going to one like specific area of like this conversation and debate. Like,
We're
but
going-
look,
I gave
look,
you,
look,
I
just
gave you
one
line by
story.
line. No,
Okay,
no, you
so
want to have this conversation? You
we
open
can still have
Pandora's
it.
box.
We're opening.
I'm giving it. I'm
We're
giving
talking
you
about
line
it.
by
We're
line
talking
what
about it.
happened with Asian Doll.
Okay,
How she used
so
a tweet to try to say I'm protecting the black woman when she wasn't. She just
Okay.
got shown that she was dumb, and that's
I
what
respect
happened.
that. I
And
respect
then
the
as far
Asian
as
dog.
us
You're absolutely
saying
right. You
Raquanda's-
already
let me
explained
finish.
it.
Let
You
me
already
finish.
explained it though. You already explained it. I already got the full conclusion about the
You ain't
Asian
gonna
dog
come on our
shit.
show.
But you're trying to drag the other shit that I got receipts
Not
on
make your
still.
purpose.
You're dragging
not
this.
You're
make your
still-
purpose, though. If
You're
you
annoying as
You're
fuck.
dragging this.
You're
Show
annoying
me
as
I'm annoying.
fuck.
Show me I'm annoying.
Oh, you high?
That'll lead to
Are you
me
high?
and you both walk out this fucking
Oh,
door.
you high?
So
Yeah,
what's up?
yeah,
Are you high?
handle
Hey,
it.
listen,
Yeah,
you
handle
can't
it.
talk like
But
this
listen,
until they
listen.
move
You
your
high?
ass out.
Slap her?
You
Yeah,
high?
no, no,
You
no.
want something like this?
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no,
Move
this
her.
is
I don't give a
not-
fuck.
it's
I'm just
not
trying to.
like
I'm just
that.
trying to tread
I
light.
will bring up
This
the
is a
music.
conversation
We all
between me,
have
you, and
something to
him.
say.
I'm just trying to tread light.
Look,
This is like your bitch. I don't know if she's
same
sucking your dick
shit.
or some shit.
Bitch,
Because
because
she's
she's
lit right now.
Okay.
What?
No.
Bitch, what? You're pissing me off, bitch. I'm so tired of you talking. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
What you gonna do?
Relax.
You triggered. My trolling. You really triggered. You're really triggered.
We been talking about the same shit. We been talking about the same shit. Get the fuck out, bitch.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Nah, I am gonna go.
Bye.
This bitch is hot.
Bye. Chill. Sit down.
The exception doesn't make the rule. If I take 100 women, right, and I take 100 men, and 100 of the men can bench press 100 pounds, but only 2 of the women.
Okay, guys, let's see this clip because I'm going to say something. Okay, now here's something. You know, this guy, um, this this bald guy, he's also a character that I'm going to talk about because he's a huge friend with these two um YAPA YAPIs, and he is also a thing. I'm just thinking about the right word to describe this, the one that is with his mobile. So let's watch this clip. you know I'm really I would say about this black females. He now let me explain. um I think that everybody, no matter what race he is equal. Okay, black, white, Asian, whatever. This is my own that's what I think. Okay. I think that everybody is equal, and that's it. There's I really don't give so much importance to race. I think it's a person who is above his color, his race, or anything. So, but one one thing I would say, you know, that I've seen sometimes, and I really appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you in this clip what I liked. Okay, so let's go back and see it again. So I think here, yeah. Okay, let's. Okay.
Line by line.
Okay,
no,
so
you want to have this conversation. You
we
open
can still have the
Pandora's
we're opening.
I'm giving
we're
you
talking about
line
it.
by
We're
line
talking
what
about
happened with Asian Doll.
Okay,
How she used
so
a tweet to try to say I'm protecting the black woman when she wasn't. She just
Okay.
got shown that she was dumb, and that's
I
what
respect
happened.
that. I
And
respect
then
the
as far
Asian
as
dog.
us
You're absolutely
saying
right. You
Quanda's-
already
let me
explained
finish.
it.
Let
You
me
already
finish.
explained it though. You already explained it. I already got the full conclusion about the
You
Asian
ain't gonna
dog
come on our
shit.
show.
But you're trying to drag the other shit that I got
Not
receipts
make
on
your
still.
purpose.
You're dragging this. You're still.
Purpose, though.
You're annoying as
You're
fuck.
dragging this.
You're
Show
annoying
me
as
I'm annoying
fuck.
then. Show me I'm annoying.
Oh, you high?
And I'll leave too.
Are you
Me
high?
and you both walk out this fucking
Are
door.
you high?
So
Yeah,
what's up?
yeah.
Are you high?
Handle
Hey,
it.
listen,
Yeah,
you
high.
handle
But
that.
listen,
Listen,
you
listen.
high?
Slap her?
You
Yeah,
high?
no, no,
Please,
no.
you sound like this boy.
Okay, so so the thing is that these black American girls. Uh, what I like is they're not that, if in previous video the white girls, they were just taking it, and but these black American girls, they're not going to take it, and I like that. Why anybody should uh, insult you like this guy does. No, now in this clip I think these two ladies are going to fight with uh, each other, but um, but you know and this Myron, he goes very hard on black people, black girls, because he doesn't go, he has no guts to say anything bad to any man, especially a black man. And he himself, whatever he says, but it's so pathetic and so ugly and so hypocrite to target especially the black American girls, uh, and they put fight. They are not so easy to be insulted, and I like that. Yeah, I like that. So let's see.
Hey, move her. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to tread light. This is a conversation between me, you, and him. I'm just trying to tread light. Just like your bitch. I don't know if she's sucking your dick or some shit. Because she's lit right now.
Okay.
No.
Bitch, what? You're pissing me off, bitch. I'm so tired of you talking, bitch. Shut the fuck up. What you gonna do?
Relax. You triggered my trolling. You really triggered. You're really triggered.
We've been talking the same shit. We've been talking the same shit. Get the fuck out, bitch.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Nah, I am gonna go.
Bye.
This bitch is hot.
Bye. Chill. Sit down.
The exception doesn't make the rule. If I take 100 women, right, and I take 100 men, and 100 of the men can bench press 100 pounds, but only 2 of the women can bench press 100 pounds, those 2 women are the exception to the other 100. So they don't make the rule because they're such a small percentage of the overall majority.
Simple as that. And like it's
Why is there a rule? Like, what is the rule that you're
We got any more
saying?
questions?
Yeah.
Other
Thank
than
you.
this topic, like anything off of this topic, honestly. Because if we all determined there would be no resolution, we should move on.
No, we resolved it. Y'all are in your feelings. We're right.
You're the one still talking about it. Let's move on, please.
No. Like I said, I'm just want to make that extremely clear.
But okay.
That we're
Ladies,
right.
sorry.
We
Okay.
went off facts.
And that is why
Y'all are emotionally
men are
triggered.
the way that they are.
So this young lady, she challenged him, you know, on some topic or anything or whatever. So so when he's challenged, or not even challenged, I would say rather, when he is confronted, you know, or you have contrary view to what this yapper yaps, he gets into his feeling, you know, and he gets emotional. And to be honest, for a man to be more emotional than a woman is not, it reflects his weakness, you know. Men should be much more calm, you know, tranquil, you know how they say it, and in a sense women like are a bit more emotional. So but this guy gets more emotional than them. So, I don't know, he says that he is the high value man, and then he just acts like a little girl. Yeah.
Are very
So
ignorant.
we are not allowed to
I'm
be
ignorant
right?
for stating facts.
That is ignorance. To sit here and want to prove a point in a room and make sure that everybody in that room knows that you were right and the next person was wrong, that's ignorance.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Like, we
it's
can't
not
be
ignorance
right.
because
It
you
is.
guys
We
have
made a
come.
point.
No.
It is.
No.
It
Because
is.
you guys came on
It
the
is.
platform.
It is.
You diluted.
It is.
Are you gonna keep doing that?
It is.
You're gonna keep being disrespectful.
It is.
All right, get the fuck out.
No problem.
Real talk. Get out.
all right, go ahead.
Appreciate you.
Get out.
All right.
Ignorance.
So just what I said, he did that.
All right, keep going in name calling. Just walk out. You're good. Turn the cameras on.
Yep, it's on.
And you're gonna go out with her. Cool. Let's go into a dream world. Let's go into a dream world. Real quick.
Yeah, you're gonna need that.
Yeah, I don't need the attitude. Like,
I'm not giving attitude. I'm
yeah, you are.
sorry.
Like,
So the girl, he said, I don't need attitude. Man, you are full of attitude. You yourself, you are full of attitude. And she's smiling. This lady is smiling. She's calm. You know, look at this fresh CEO. Now, no. I'm sorry. Fresh Prince CEO. Yeah. Look at him. He's sleeping, I think.
the little ad libs and everything like that. I'm not young Jeezy, man. Like, be quiet.
Oh wow.
Like, I don't need that.
Proceed.
You know who show you're on?
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
Yes. You don't run the cadence of the show. You're not the host. Stop interjecting. Stop being rude.
Okay.
He's the one, you know, he's the one not letting this girl speak, you know, and everybody knows you are the host. You don't have to tell her that you are the host. And the other thing is, how is it that these girls are your invitees, from the very start. If you invite somebody, you have to be polite, you know uh, just just think about that. What kind of, this idiot, you know yeah, he, this idiot has, if I'm going to make, let's say, a category of idiots, you know I don't know where I'm going to put this idiot, in which category I'm going to put this idiot. And that Barbados coconut, yeah, he's going to have his own category also, in the category of idiots.
Anyway,
Continue. Trigger.
like, do you not?
What is the problem?
Okay, this might be my last warning. Don't
So-
interject.
So the girl is so suave, she's so tranquil, she's so calm, and he and she's actually saying nothing, and still this this little girl Myron is triggered. Makes sense, people, make sense.
Interject randomly. All right.
Okay, gotcha.
Just be fucking quiet. Don't speak unless you're spoken to. Period. If you do it again, I'm gonna just kick you off because you're being annoying now.
So how is going to be a podcast? This guy, I think he got the wrong job. He should be in a little kids class where they're making a lot of noise and they're not listening to him, and the teacher says, keep quiet and nobody talks until I say that. It looks like that, I think. All these girls, they are of age and they look like, 20, 30, whatever. They are grown up women, and this guy is telling this girl, you have to speak when I tell you to speak, and you have to be quiet when I tell you. I mean, what kind of podcast is that, from the get-go? And who are the, I mean, for me, who are the idiots that are his followers? Who are the how would I say that, a subcategory, of there's something wrong with the people who follow these two yaps. There's something wrong, because the way he behaves, and he has been behaving like that, and these his followers, they send money and they clap and they are excited, and they this thing uh, enabled him uh, to be more insulting. So for me, I don't have any, not even a little bit of, how would I say, sympathy for the people who follow these two grifters. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yo, get the fuck off the show, bro. Like this. Man, we good, man. Just get out of here, bro.
You off?
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to be funny here. This ain't a game. Just get out of here.
Trying to be funny how?
So out of nothing, she literally said nothing. I mean, you cannot be a more respectful person, and she is. And then he just kicks her out for nothing. It's so sad. It's really sad. I think the girl has no. I think she's the victim here. And like I say, these other 6 8 girls are they should have left. You know, you cannot be in a setting where these people make fun of you, and you know, as a women, uh, you just sit there and take it, you know.
Yeah, right. Just get out of here.
Yeah,
Get out. Incredible.
All right, report. I mean, nigga warned you twice, but hey.
Triggered.
Girls be forgetting where the fuck they're at sometimes.
I barely even said anything.
No, you've been talking too much. That's the problem. Just grab your stuff, get out. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave too. I'm sorry.
Okay,
It
you
was
get the
nice
fuck off
meeting
too.
everybody, but I'm her right, so I gotta go.
I'm giving nothing.
Okay, great. That's what I liked. Okay, I hope all of these girls go. I hope all of these girls leave.
If you got,
All right, go, go. 3 for 1, man. 3 for 1. Get out of here.
What you're saying is a real reality, and he's still being funny. Yeah,
But
you're
no,
a comedian.
What?
I guarantee you.
What does that have to do with?
Because you're saying guys are more funny. You're very funny. You're making jokes out of a serious situation. You're funny. Ha ha ha. Now, that's a real situation. You don't have to fuck everybody that wants to fuck you. I'm friends with my billionaire exes, and they invest in my businesses.
Yo, what the? Yo. Like, who's talking to you, bro? Like, what?
You, because you're shutting.
No, I was talking to
down.
her.
You are, but you're shutting her situation down.
I'm talking
like
to
it's a
her,
joke.
not you.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No,
No, it
this
does
is
matter.
A girl
it
thing.
does. Look.
Okay.
It does matter because you're on our show. We're running the show.
This is
okay?
also my space, though. I'm
Okay.
here too with you guys.
Okay,
You
yeah,
realize.
but hold on. Let me be extremely clear about this.
Okay.
You're on our podcast. If you're gonna be
I'm
on
on-
our podcast, okay, you're
Then I
gonna
have
go
to
about
be quiet and speak when you say.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay,
You
no,
gotta
I
follow the
don't.
rules.
You didn't pay me to be here, so
Then
I
you
don't
can get the
have
fuck
to.
out of here, honestly.
I can, but
Then-
I'm
yeah.
not.
Then
You're
you
telling
get
me
the
to
fuck
shut
outta
the
here.
fuck up if I
Then
don't
you
laugh
get
at
outta
your
here.
jokes.
Then you
This
get
is
outta here.
giving little dick energy.
We're not talking to you.
Oh, laugh at
This
my
isn't your
jokes,
show.
boy.
This isn't your show.
You're
all right?
funny.
Let me make
sorry.
that
Haha,
extremely
I
clear.
love to laugh.
Yo, get this chick out of here, bro.
Yeah.
This bitch out of here.
Lord, now I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch.
She's
Because I'm.
Okay, let's go to the previous video and see things about this guy. I think it is here. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Video. All the FNF fans were waiting with bated breath for one of these girls to do something, or in some cases, do nothing and get kicked off the show.
All right, later, bye. We've debunked rape culture. Rape culture is a myth. It's not as common as people say it is.
Yo,
Like, you want to go cry outside.
Yeah.
Like, bro, this is an adult conversation. If you can't divorce your emotions from reality, that's two different things. Does anyone else want to join her?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
All right,
us
cool.
too.
Leave.
Yeah, leave. Yep. Who else? Go ahead.
Who else?
Boom. Yep.
Yeah, by myself.
Yep.
Get up and leave.
Yep. Get up and leave.
Now you know where the punishing bad behavior comes from and where the term Frank Castle in relation to the Fresh and Fit podcast comes from, if it wasn't already obvious. So from here, it again continued to grow as a podcast. At this point in time, the guests invited weren't horrible. Of course, we had some scammers and charlatans, namely the fake and the pretender, who will teach you how to run a business and be a man for the low price of $1,000 when his only successful business I can find is his YouTube or his YouTube.
Okay, so in the thumbnail, I have this guy also. You know, this guy is a curious case because this guy is deep. He's doing the same thing. He's the same grifter, but he has a different approach, and we're going to talk about this yapper also.
YouTube related, like his merch or his cult. And he bullies 18-year-old girls for having the audacity to not want to be associated with him. More info in this video. And Donovan Sharp, who is literally a career criminal, who has scammed everyone from his fans to his literal dad. But there was also some decent value being added. They had divorce lawyers on, credit score tips. They also had some entertainment. Michael Blackson, DJ Academics, Traplo Ross, and other pretty notable names outside of the red pill niche. Basically, at this point, they weren't known just for women coming on. They were known for mainly that, but people actually trusted their platform to at least have some decent people. The air around these guys was basically, okay, they're jerks to women, but they're not necessarily bad people. Myron's a hothead who's been hurt by women and hasn't gotten over it. Fresh, he's just along for the ride and has no beliefs about any of this. The rest of the crew is more or less irrelevant. They're controversial, but not necessarily bad, right? That was until about this moment.
Because you got triggered, baby. What's going on in here?
Don't do it, bro. What's up? Don't do it, man.
Okay, here there was an ex-employee of his. I think when they started, it was when they started. This guy was his employee, and this guy confronted Myron. So you see, and you know, what I found out that he was Myron was holding a gun, you know, uh, and I mean, if this guy enters, he would have, he would have shot this guy. So um, because he's an ex-federal agent or something like that. But you know, this says that he's such a weak person, because why, if anything, somebody, even, if a man comes to you and you know you have some discussion or some argument, you don't have to have a gun. Just, you know what this means is that this modern guy is a weakling, is a coward. He doesn't have same energy when it comes to men. He has a different energy. So
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Who is this guy? Why is he breaking into the studio? Well, to answer those questions, you gotta take a slight step back. This is ABBA and Preach. Both will be relevant, but especially ABBA as things progress. The 19th law of power: know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. If ever there was one mistake that led to the downfall of Fresh and Fit, it would be this. Before ABBA and Preach was invited onto their podcast, Myron said this on a separate podcast in relation to ABBA.
I'm really happy that I went last because everyone on this panel made phenomenal points, and I'm gonna take a bit from everybody, and I was like kind of like taking notes in my head as everyone was speaking. This is what I think. He went and he read The Rational Male. He probably went through some RP rage in 2013, couldn't get girls, whatever it may be, right? Struggled, right? Then his YouTube channel started to blow up, and this is one thing I've learned about a lot of guys that consume the RP. They take it to the point that they start to get women. Once they start to get women, they get rid of it. Hey, I don't need this crap no more. I'm not no misogynist. Bam, right? And they think that they don't need it anymore. And then that goes back to exactly what Lucario was saying. They ain't in it like we are. You know what I'm saying? They took what they needed, got the clout, got the girls. Now, you know what? I can start to observe some of these blue pill ideals that I used to have. Some of the, what they call purple pill, right? Yeah. As some guys call purple pill. So he didn't consume the content enough and learn it to get out of the RP rage. So he was in RP rage, starts getting girls. Okay, you know what? I got the clout now, whatever. I'm kind of aware of female nature, but I don't need to consume any more of this content. I'm good. And then he gets out. And then this is why you end up with this wavery type situation where, well, it's toxic or blah, blah, blah. Anybody that has common sense understands that the RP and everything else like that, alpha, beta, all these, they're placeholder terms to explain things. It doesn't necessarily mean.
ABBA caught wind of this and went onto their podcast with this in mind. Myron, for as much as he likes to be seen as alpha who puts women in their place, seems to be a lot more demure and docile in the presence of men. ABBA's not even a domineering guy. He just looks like your average.
Okay, so this ABBA guy, he's a comedian. I've never seen him do comedy. I don't know, on internet. And the other guy is Preach. I like Preach. I like his, the way he carries himself. But this ABBA guy, I really don't like him. I think he's a hypocrite. This ABBA guy is a huge hypocrite. Now he says, there's something about all of these guys, and what they do is sometimes they say the right things. They have this this thing that they know what to say, when to say to the public. And but there's a problem there. There's a problem because they don't live what they preach. So this ABBA guy, I'm going to he says a lot of good things, but it's just for me. It's just like putting a video of whatever, and then he just comments on the things that he thinks are wrong, and most of his videos are good. But the problem I have is I see a hypocrite. I don't see this guy as a genuine guy. The preach guy. Uh, I, I have another vibe with the other guy. So I think the preach is more genuine. Yeah.
Average dude, and when confronted on this, here's how he reacted.
Specifically, you felt like we were kind of blue pilled, right?
I don't remember what show was this one?
I remember it very, very well because that episode I was very careful of what I said because kids watched it. That episode I was very careful of what I said because kids watched it. So I just want to ask you about that. Why do you think I might be blue pilled?
Well, from what I remember, I'm trying to remember. I would say blue, like, I'm trying to think, like, which video was.
It was the one.
I'm trying to remember.
I said I quoted it right to his face. Even the goofy fresh boy, he was like, "Oh, Abba came with the smoke." I also find it funny that he came with the smoke.
Two things to note: Walter instantly remembers it for one, and for two, Abba didn't come at him like, "Hey man, say man, you was talking shit. What the word is now about that?" He actually said it pretty nicely and softened the blow with, "Why do you think I might be blue pilled?" Notice how he's stuttering and avoiding eye contact in the situation. Also note that Walter, like the dunderhead he is, starts telling Myron, "Oh, I remember it. It was this day," completely missing the obvious fact that Myron is trying to run from it when he could have just said, "Yeah, I thought you were before, but I was clearly wrong. You seem chill. My bad. I had only one video to go off of. I take that back." Instead, he just obfuscates and plays dumb. Another thing worth pointing out is that during this live stream, Preach was laughing at what Walter was saying.
You're gonna tell me in my face. You're gonna tell me in my face that you just said I want her soul broadcasted on internet, and you gonna tell me that all these girls gonna have respect for you?
Now the real issue arises when we look at what happened after. I've Preach went on their channel and called them out. They both said some things that they didn't exactly say beforehand, nor did they let FNF know there'll be a generally negative video made about them. On this front, I somewhat sympathize. Probably be annoyed if I invited someone to my place and they decided to turn around and say things they could have just said to me on air. But at the same time, Myron did do some weirdo stuff too, avoiding taking accountability for his own words. So I guess it is fair game.
Number two, she ain't gonna respect you.
People go on your show and disrespect you for free, and you kick them out. Isn't that true?
That's true.
So it's like this whole idea you gonna get respect from these ladies if you don't.
Both made some decent points. FNF said at the time it's better that someone actually likes you and it's degrading to pay for it, and you're not getting the best, which I do kind of agree with. But also, they brought up disrespect, and freaking Fresh of all people said every girl still loves him that he's ever been with, and he gets their soul. Yeah, not buying it. There's about 30 minutes worth of evidence against that being the case right here.
And you talk about the respect. Let me ask you something. All the girls you smashed.
Yeah.
If I talk to every one of them, you think they all respect you or are gonna say good things about you?
Yes.
All of them?
All of them.
You know, okay. Okay. You know what's the best part? The live stream chat during that period, they were going crazy.
I know.
Yeah, they were just going, "Cap, that's a lie."
At the end of the day, to each their own, but I'd rather become a eunuch than pay for play, but that's just me. But that's all besides the point. In response to this, Myron crashed out to the holistic stand.
I wasn't gonna do this.
Wait, the hand symbol?
Yo, I was not gonna do this.
The international.
My man Abba looks like he got off a camel. Hasn't cut his hair in years. Dusty as he got a better channel than y'all, more views than y'all. The only thing you guys got on us is number.
Okay, so now this guy goes ballistics on Abba because this other guy saw a grift. So he went to their podcast, and after that podcast he made I think a video about them, mocking them, and and Myron just goes crazy and starts insulting. So let's see the type of insults that
You guys been on longer, but I know that y'all gonna.
Crashed out to the holistic stand.
I wasn't gonna do this.
Wait, the hand symbol?
Yo, I was not gonna do this.
The international.
My man Abba looks like he got off a camel. Hasn't cut his hair.
So like this camel thing. I would tell you what this camel thing is about. I think Aba is from Somalia. It's they have like African Arab thing, and Myron himself, I think he's from Sudan. So I mean, if he's calling him camel, whatever, you're Sudanese Arab also. So I really don't get it. I mean, uh, this guy, he is black, okay? You can call yourself whatever, but you're black, okay? Is what you look. You are black, and he goes ballistic on black people, black Americans. He has just it sees that he has such a hate, uh, 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 and especially the black ladies, um, and he's doing the same thing here. And the other thing that I notice, that when the white guys come, you know and there's nothing wrong about white people or whatever. I'm just using these terms because to differentiate the type of people, how he behaves between different groups, different colors, whatever. So I've never seen him doing anything, saying anything, and it's bizarre. I mean, it's really this guy doesn't even respect himself or his family or his parents or his origins. I mean, the Abba is from Somalia, and I think so. And this guy is from Sudan. They are just like very near, just like the same, different tribes, but like same location. It's, and and see and just listen to what this guy says.
Crashed out to the fullest extent.
I wasn't gonna do this.
Wait, the hand symbol?
Yo, I was not gonna do this.
The international.
My man Abba looks like he got off a camel, hasn't cut his hair in years. Dusty as we got a better channel than y'all, more views than y'all. The only thing you guys got on us is you guys been on longer. But I guarantee you, next year, this time, we're gonna lap you. Because you know what? Nobody works harder than us. Nope. We are better than you. Period.
Okay, so if you have more views than them, even you're getting more money than them, this doesn't mean that you are a good person. So, or alpha male or whatever you think you are, a high value man or whatever. I really hate people who put themselves, ticket themselves with tags, I'm this, I'm that. A real person doesn't need to say anything about himself. I think it would it it is it is more important what others say about you than you self uh, saying things about yourself. Yeah.
Just horrible, terrible, atrocious form. You're going at one of the most beloved creator duos who've been on this platform for years. Even though I think both parties somewhat have decent reasons to have issues with each other, one party just went about it all bad. This kicked off one of the most entertaining and long-standing feuds on YouTube that I've ever seen. From this point on, Abba and Preach, but more so Abba, made it his life's mission to destroy Fresh and Fit. But all he really did was bait them and then upload a video on what they did. I say Abba and Preach destroyed Fresh and Fit, but at the end of the day, they chose to behave this way and picked the wrong dialogue option every time. Things only got worse when Walter and Myron challenged Preach to a boxing match and insulted his supposed wife. The woman just ended up being a friend of Preach's, so she caught a crazy stray for no reason. But due to this, Preach, who took more of a backseat in this beef, was now at the forefront.
So real talk, man. We put out an invite. If y'all want to talk, come back in the studio. We'll talk about it. or we could box about it too. Cause I'm in the gym now. You feel me? I'm feeling nice right now. I'm wired right now.
Fresh wants to box with Preach, bro. Fresh wants to box with Preach,
bro. So you know what? Come back to Miami. Let's box it out. Talk it out too. How about that?
In 3 months, no, but like real talk, man. Like if we're gonna have this discussion, we're harder than you, straight up, and we work harder than you guys. We put out all different types of content. We ain't just out here reacting. This Preach is married, probably to a fucking beluga whale somewhere, and y'all talking shit.
Myron had a completely different energy from before. Preach responded in kind, wanted all the action and then some.
And later on in the video, you're saying that you want to box with me. Sort of happened that I'm gonna be in the U.S. next week. You want to do this shit? Let's go, both of you. I'll be in U.S. next week.
Hold up.
But now you want to do this?
You want to set up the box match?
Let's go.
Okay, we can set it up.
Both of you, let's go.
Hey,
You want to do this? Let's go. Let's go.
Safe to say he wasn't ducking any smoke, especially not from someone who can't even look a woman in the eye, and even less so from Fresh.
On some level as well.
After this response from Preach, everyone pretty much was on Abba and Preach's side. Everyone found it abhorrent just how low Myron stooped and how he conducted himself, and some just couldn't rationalize how he would make fun of women for being emotional and not thinking with a level head when he did all that. This is also seen the loss of subs at the time, a whopping 50k sub loss after this. All this jumping around yelling, "We're better than you guys," literally halted their upward trajectory. It was kind of poetic if you think about it. It was because of this loss of subs that Myron eventually copped a plea and posted on their community tab an apology to their fans and a wish of luck to Abba and Preach.
Best of luck to Abba and Preach in their future endeavors. See you guys tonight for
So the you know this Fresh and Fit. So this Preach
and a wish of luck to Abba and Preach.
Okay, where's
Best
the
of luck
Preach?
to Abba and their armor.
Okay, so this Preach guy, so I think he knows some, MMA, martial arts, and has some fighting skills. So the Preach said that he's available to fight both of them at the same time. I mean, he's ready to throw hands, and so it's hilarious, and they backed out, and I think they apologized or something like that. It's hilarious.
Everyone realized, okay, wait, these guys are not beyond reproach. From there, it was an avalanche. He had women coming out with proof of Myron telling them the only way they can get on the podcast is if they sleep with him.
And he said, no problem, I collab directly with girls I date, no pressure though. And I was
Okay,
like,
so let me tell you something. See, these Fresh and Fit, these two guys, they have made a whole business out of teaching men how to have how they say it, how to get girls. And here's the thing, this girl, and I think it has been like years before, and she seems to be the way a very nice lady, and she wanted to come to his podcast. I think she was a fitness something, and I think she had a small channel, and he invited her. So you will see, you are going to see what she's going to say about this guy. Let's go through it.
like, so if we aren't dating, you don't want to collab? Because he's never even asked me on a date at this point.
Okay, so in the DMs, he doesn't know this girl. He just invited her or something. So what she's saying, that he wanted to have, intimate relationships with her without knowing her, in the pretext that if he wants to come on his podcast, she'll have to go through it. Now, this thing kills everything. If you are a dating guru and you are doing this, I really don't think you know anything about you know, dating women. uh, a- if you have to go, you know, DM, you know, message a girl on your podcast, and the prerequisite you put that she have to, you know, sleep with you, I really don't know what kind of you know, uh, dating I'm sorry, you know, what kind of uh, dating you can teach to the men, you know, your followers. So
This is the leader of what, like a million men? So a million or so men who ostensibly have never had a real interaction with women, or at least very limited interactions. They're following the actions and words of this poor man's Harvey Weinstein. This is Dame. It didn't stop there. There was another girl who also accused Myron of getting her pregnant. Although that one didn't have much proof to back it up, I don't even believe it myself. It still came out. Myron still had to address it. But wait, there's more. At this time, it wasn't just people who knew them personally or had bad experiences with them. Arguably, more damaging were the channels that came from this whole thing who are completely removed bystanders. O'Shea Duke Jackson, Spencer Cornelia, Playback, and many more were channels with decent to good followings before Fresh and Fit, but all this controversy made them pop to another level. And they're all more or less going strong to this day. There was a whole industry at this point surrounding calling out the sheer hypocrisy of these guys. We had channels that arguably were born out of this whole thing. Coach Whitepill, Kevin Ray Wilder, John Anthony Lifestyle, all really were made from this, or got their channels revived from it at least. Well, at least it lasted for a short period of time. Even my guy Duke the Don, no relation.
okay guys, I'm going to make some videos about some of these people that are mentioned here. All of them are, how they say it, these pickup artists, you know. And most of them are big time grifters, you know. It's just insane industry where you know, they are just taking advantage of you know, some basic guys that really have I mean, maybe they are shy, or they don't have that much contact with women, and they are lacking in socialization, you know. But this doesn't mean that you have to go through these you know, grifters, these hypocrites, because they are really taking advantage of a situation in a society, in a Western society, where sometimes it is I won't say difficult, but it can be a bit challenging. And you know, the type of advice that these pickup artists are giving has some weight, but the problem is they themselves, most of them in their lives, are incapable of doing what they teach. Okay.
Had his channel really explode off critiquing Fresh and Fit. Point is, they had lots of people coming after them. Also, lots of people distancing themselves from them. People that used to rock with them and co-sign them, now they're starting to see the millions of subscribers attacking them, the thousands of subs jumping ship, and they thought, I want no parts in this. One of those people was Kevin Samuels. First off, rest in peace. Anyone dying at such a young age is always a tragedy, but we gotta talk about the real, especially those of you who purport to be a high-value man. Isn't the whole thing
Okay. In all of these guys, I think Kevin Samuel is the one that I used to listen, and he is very articulate, you know. I'll be trying to make my English a bit better, but I think it's I'm a bit timid, and I haven't been speaking English for a very very long time, and it's not my first language, it's my second language. So please don't um, um, just give me some time, okay? um so we are talking about Samuel. Yeah, what is his name? Yeah, this guy, Samuel. Yeah, unfortunately this guy died, but I think the people who are my viewers, I think they still have his videos. I think his channel, I really don't know if it's there, but you know, he's very articulate. You know, sometimes you have to learn, you can learn many things, and the way he speaks, and you know, uh, you might not agree with all the things he said, but he has some, you know, he had some concepts about women, you know, um, um, how right now in United States, how they act. And I think as a man sometimes there are type of women that are a little bit too much. This doesn't mean that men are angels, no. We men, we are, I think we are also of the same cut, so it applies to both genders, okay. But I really like I like that, I really liked and I still like this man.
Young age is always a tragedy, but we gotta talk about the real, especially those of you who purport to be a high value man. Isn't the whole thing about being masculine and compartmentalizing emotion from fact? Keep that in mind as we go through this part. Before Kevin Samuels' passing and during this whole F&F is over party, Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit had a beef behind closed doors. Kevin Samuels, being as calculated and smart as he is, never publicly addressed it, but after his passing, everyone involved did. There's multiple sides to the story, so I'll list each one, give my take on it, and you guys can choose what you think makes the most sense. The people like O'Shea claim that Kevin Samuels called him and said he should stop supporting F&F because they're a brand risk and bad people.
And I'm going to tell you how I know that. When the Fresh and Fit and Alba and Preach beef broke out, I was taking Fresh and Fit side until I got a call one day. Kevin called me and said, "Hey man, take all those videos down against Alba and Preach, man." I'm like, what's going on? He was like, "Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you certain things right now that you need to know, and Fresh and Fit was wrong." So we had a conversation. I was living in Poland at the time, about 2 hours. All the little dirty things that y'all was doing, I'm gonna get into it in this video.
It seems to have started because Kevin Samuels asked them to change their time slot because they're competing. Kevin felt owed that because he helped him get a big buzz originally.
We typically never stream at the same times, especially if we know each other, right? So if I know you and I got a show at 10, it's disrespectful if I'm your boy to start a show at the same time that you got, because that's my time slot. It's what we do. So
Okay guys, let's go a little bit forward because I think they had falling out, Samuel and Fresh and Fit, because of some time or something like that. But just go beyond that. Okay, let's see what else they have. Okay, Kevin Samuels. Okay, let's see.
Up to this point, I think Kevin Samuels was wrong to ask for payment for a video because apparently, now take this with a grain of salt because Donovan is a genuine pathological liar, Kevin Samuels wanted half the revenue from the video or something like that, which is completely outlandish. But I do think he's cool to ask for the time slot, and since they're friends and he did help them, I think it would make sense for FNF to oblige if they can. But apparently, things really got bad when it was discovered that FNF was calling Kevin Samuels the F slur behind his back, saying he'd beat his and things like that.
So the reason why Kevin Samuels didn't like you is because you was going behind his back, calling him homosexual names as well as Alba and Preach.
Now this is a story told according to Kevin Samuels' camp, but according to FNF, it's a different story. Fresh and Fit state a big reason for them insulting Kevin Samuels behind the scenes was because they were just competitive like that, and they wanted to surpass him obviously, so that's how he riled his team up. I think there may be some truth to this, but if you're truly friends and there's no underlying animosity, the words you might use are, "We're gonna be bigger than Kevin Samuels one day," or "We gotta reach Kevin Samuels' heights." Probably not. "We're gonna be bigger than that fast Kevin Samuels."
So here's the story. Basically, long story short, guys, what happened was there was an issue. I'm going to sum it up for your audience so that they don't like get bored or whatever. But there was an issue between us and Kevin Samuels and the time slot. He wanted a certain time slot. We abided by it. We said, "All right, cool, bro, no worries." And we were pushing our.
So this guy in the red shirt, his name is Zerka, John Zerka, and he's also a character, you know. I mean, they are of the same bunch, you know. They have like the same setting and same group, you know. All of these guys are gurus, you know, teaching men how to get girls, but they are pathetic. And this Zerka guy, he talks a lot of crap, a lot of, you know, he does many theatrics around girls. But you know, somewhat he's a bit better than others. At least he doesn't hide, you know. He's not that of a hypocrite, so I'll give that to him.
Our show back for the time slot. Then I quickly realized that it wasn't necessarily about the time slot. He just kind of didn't want to work with us anymore.
The difference at this point in his story is the motivation. Apparently, he thinks it was mainly motivated by Kevin Samuels wanting to not be associated with them or share a fan base, which I think we can all understand why.
We were bringing on, you know, young girl bimbos in Miami in person and roasting them. So it was a completely different lane.
So So mind your language, you know, mind his language. So I mean the type of language this guy uses. And there's something I want to tell. um if you want to be successful with women, you have to be very sharp, in your language. And because of this very toxic uh, little girls, many men think that they can use this very sub sub very subculture language, the kind of slurs and kind of he uses against women. Never do that, never ever. I think you should always try to have a very clean, language, yeah.
And it wasn't the same. And Kevin was targeting mostly the African American community. Maybe he felt like we're overlapping with him. That's fine. He's entitled to feel that way. But what ended up happening after that was, since we had this rap with attack fresh fill while
An attack, kicking them while they're down. To me, I bet the real story is somewhere in between. If I were a betting man, I'd bet that Kevin Samuels probably was annoyed at the things that were said behind closed doors, rightfully so. Probably was also annoyed and felt like his lane was being encroached on, and arguably rightfully so. And Kevin Samuels was probably looking at them and thinking, oh hell nah, I can't have my name attached to these guys. I gotta be in music videos with Future and interviews with Nicki Minaj in the mainstream. I can't be co-signed with these kind of allegations. But I also think there was probably an aspect of fear of them overtaking him and jealousy as well. When this accusation was levied against Abba and Preach, saying that they're jealous of Fresh and Fit's success, and that's why they're attacking them, it didn't make sense because they're quite literally in two separate distinct lanes. And if anything, Aber and Priest could just make videos reacting to their drama. But FNF and Kevin Samuels had damn near a one-to-one audience at that point. They wanted to see women get roasted on live, and both provided that. So because of that, I can see a personality type like Kevin Samuels also could FNF, and it didn't seem like much could get worse. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Allende. This is the man who really took it to another level. Allende, an ex-co-worker from Fresh and Fit, broke into the Fresh and Fit studio to confront Myron mid-podcast. This was must-see TV at the time. This really brought the Jerry Springer to YouTube at this point. This is probably Fresh and Fit's darkest hour, well, at least up to this point. Allende and his friend Large were upset for a myriad of reasons. Some smaller, some bigger, some valid, some not so valid. He had an issue with them not giving him credit for getting girls on the show, which I feel like is kind of reaching.
Me and Large met because I was bringing the girls on the podcast, and the entire time I'm working away to push this thing, to get these guys off the ground, to get these guys established and get the engine fucking going.
I mean, it's called the Fresh and Fit show, not the casting coordinator and photographer show. They also had an issue with Myron's integrity and behavior. Apparently, Myron wanted to edge him out of the podcast and get someone else to source girls because Allende couldn't be controlled. And this one is very interesting, and I'll explain why. I originally wasn't too sure about this, because as someone who's employed and employs, there's times where someone's really good at their job, has things like reliability issues, attitude issues, and just general incompatibility with the vision or with the team. In these cases, I might look for someone else to work with them, or just give their job to someone else if it gets too much to deal with. So at first, I kind of sympathized with Myron and assumed maybe it was that. But Allende said something very, very illuminating.
Let me ask you guys a question. You think about this for a minute. How many guys do you know that stutter? Just percentage-wise, out of 10 guys, how many of those guys would stutter? I could find 10 guys like this and not one of them would stutter. How the fuck is it that Myron finds himself around 3 guys that stutter? A team of 4 and 3 of them stutter. The point I'm making is that that's not a coincidence. Myron is an expert at preying on insecurity. He's an expert at finding people that are useful, that are skillful, but lack the confidence to get what they deserve, right? And what they're owed. And those are the people that he can exploit.
There's more later in this downfall video that supports Allende's point, but even with just this and what we know so far, I believe this is 100% true. Think about it, his entire main team. Who's Chris? A man with a stutter, overweight, and a drinking problem. Very clearly with low self-esteem.
Okay, so this Chris guy, he's their producer. He manages the stream and everything. So this guy is very toxic, and I think sometimes he interjects and puts camera on himself, and especially when Myron gets upset with some girl, and this guy, how they say it, he makes it even worse all the time. So
his entire main team. Who's Chris? A man with a stutter, overweight.
Yeah. So all of these guys are bunch of misogynist crooks, and I think no man, nobody should follow them. And I'm really happy that they are demonetized, because I really don't think anybody should tolerate this kind of bad behavior, toxic behavior, I would say.
Weight and a drinking problem, very clearly with low self-esteem and a punching bag to not just Myron, but Fresh as well. Who's Mo? Overweight, no stutter, but very clearly lacking in confidence and is a punching bag to Myron as well. And finally, who's Fresh? A punching bag to Myron, has a stutter and not the brightest tool in the shed. All this to say, it seems like Myron's less interested in building a powerhouse podcast team and more interested in surrounding himself with a cast of people he can control. I mean, with half of them stumbling over their own words and barely keeping up, it's clear this was not a crew you'd recruit if you're after a polished, insightful podcast. But if what you're going for is control, well, then this ragtag lineup is exactly who you look for. It's almost like he handpicked a team to make himself look sharper and more confident in comparison. Like he chose everyone based on their willingness to be bullied first and skill and expertise second. He's not leading because he's an expert guiding other talented minds. He's leading because they're so inept they have no choice but to follow. This makes it all too easy to see why Allende said he felt threatened. If we're to believe Allende's telling the truth and was so good at his job, we can also...
Okay, what about Allende or whatever? It's just stupid.
Another issue Allende and Large had with Fresh and Fit was when Fresh and Fit hit 100,000 subscribers. They were set to have a party of some sort. If you guys know FNF and their milestone celebrations, they're all horrible, with no exception. Allende was the one who gave them the idea in the first place. They sold tickets for this event at $500 a pop.
Remember, this is a party to celebrate them getting 100,000 subscribers, and they're charging their supporters to come, right? Mind you, me and him, we had certain business dealings with them or what have you, but it was told on their podcast, this was before we found out anything about that we recently found out, it was told on their podcast that we were the reasons, called dead weight, we were the reasons as to why their party didn't go well, and they no longer wanted to cut ties with us and fire us even though we didn't work for them.
This predictably had its issues and people were scammed. FNF blamed all the shortcomings on these two.
And what do we find out? We find out that a group of people that had been to the party who paid hundreds of dollars to be there, at a minimum $100 to $500 to be there, that Myron, that they wanted a refund because the party wasn't lit the way they were promised.
Okay, so one of the grifts, the money grifts that these guys did, and I think especially when they were demonetized from YouTube, because they were gifted huge sums of money when they were podcasting, insulting these poor girls, degrading them, saying all the things, and their viewers, I won't say all of them, but most of them used to, how they say it, send this chat money or whatever it is. I'm sorry, I'm really new in this thing, and it was a huge sum. And aside from that, the surprising thing is that their YouTube videos were monetized, and I think they were really earning a huge revenue, because they went viral and there was a huge audience for the drama these guys used to put forward. So, and aside from that, they started doing these parties and charging whatever money with these stupid get-togethers.
That there would be a bunch of girls, certain type of drinks, a certain type of aesthetic or whatever, and it wasn't.
Which they would have been.
They said on their platform, the Fresh and Fit people said on their platform that it was lit and all this, and they lied to all of you guys. The people that were there have screenshots, they have recordings and all that. The party was a failure. It was a failure, which is
I
why.
had fun though.
Me too, actually. Me too,
I had
actually.
fun.
But where was I going? Oh yeah, so the party was a failure according to them, and a lot of the people that were there. And yet they tried to blame and pin it on us, to their subscribers. Now, we find out today, this magical little thing that the subscribers say that
contacted Myron, and when they were in contact with Myron, I think it was face to face. You know, what happened? Yeah, face to face. The next day, we find out that that when they ask for a refund, that Myron tells them basically, no, they're not getting a refund. And the reason that's why they're not getting a refund is because me and Allende, us two here, were the ones who collected the money, got the money, we basically stole the money. So essentially all this stuff is bubbling up in the background, and it all came out during the ABBA and Preach beef. He goes on to list and honestly really prophesize and foreshadow a lot of things that ended up taking place. The fact that all the staff followed Myron's lead and became outright douches to the girls. The fact that he doesn't actually care about the men he's helping. He hit the nail on the head, but it was because of this that Allende made the boneheaded decision breaking into the studio to confront him. Funnily enough, there was a conspiracy that ABBA and Preach was the mastermind behind the whole break-in, but that was just hearsay. Allende and ABBA both said that's not the case. That break-in was the talk of.
Okay, so they had some dispute. I really don't think this Allende guy is whatever he was, but let's move on.
Downfall was taken. Fresh and Fit went on a copyright abuse rampage. I love how all these guys say they care about free speech, but always end up being the snowflakes they complain about. People didn't.
Yeah, the other thing is that when, you know, if I'm making a video about you, I'm commenting, reacting to that, I think it's fairly fairly I can do that, you know. So what these Fresh and Fit guys used to do is, if there is someone making a reaction video about them and they didn't like it, they're going to send copyright strikes, you know, on these small YouTubers. They started doing that, you know.
Already hate them before, they surely did now. In the YouTube world, false copyright strikes are a cardinal sin. Rightfully so. You can end up getting someone's channel deleted and their livelihood taken. Now, it's unlikely, especially the bigger the channel, but YouTube has a broken system and people like Fresh and Fit and the Fake and the Pretender abuse this. These guys know that the critiques against them are very real and thus very.
And you know, I'm a little skeptical because I'm just starting to make reaction videos, and you know, to tell, you know, what kind of people these and this guy also. I hope he, you know, if he sends me a strike or whatever. I'm just new, so I really don't know what it's all about, but I hope not. Okay.
Damaging. So instead of addressing them or, I don't know, changing their actions, meh, too hard. I'll just try and silence it and then also turn around and complain about big tech and the Jews silencing me. Fresh and Fit was giving out copyright strikes like it's Halloween candy. Channels, big or small, were getting hit. 20+ were sent to ABBA and Preach alone. But Fresh and Fit did not think too far ahead, because YouTube eventually told Fresh and Fit they have 7 days to revoke the copyright strikes, or their channel will be deleted. It was a beautiful display of poetic justice in the end. This was so bad that Tim Pool.
Okay, so I think it was YouTube, because they were sending everybody and anybody copyright strikes. So I think YouTube flipped on them. I think it was good. It was great.
Cool. Yes, the guy confirmed to have been paid by Russia, who espouses all the same things Fresh and Fit do, even called them out on their behavior.
And won't leave and does it for 4 months. What are you gonna do?
Well, you can't file a DMCA over it.
Apparently not.
Marlon was comparing people making videos critiquing him as someone breaking into his store and hitting him with his own broom. No comment. If you think this is as bad as it gets, I wish that were true. Oh buddy, it gets worse. The next big controversy went viral not just on YouTube, but on Twitter, specifically Black Twitter, one of the scariest places to go viral at ever. And it was because of Myron's stated preferences. When asked about a dating app called Blacked, he said this.
Oh, it's funny, I never used that one, bro, but hey, man. I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man. LaQuisha.
Okay, so here he's using a very derogatory term, a very insulting term about American black women. He's you know, some type of whatever, and he being black. I mean, hey man, you are born of a black mother. She's not Caucasian or white or something. If you're calling black women Shaniqua, your mother is also Shaniqua, right? I mean, it's not that I disrespect anybody's mother, not even his, but you should be very watchful, you know, when you insult other women, because you are born of a woman. And yeah. uh, and the other thing is, and very surprising, is that these two, they were using this they were using this application that is a sugar daddy site, where you pay money to have some time with, you know girls or attractive ladies. So both of them were using that. And for me, I just I really cannot understand that to your audience you are telling them that you are so successful and you have so much money, you're so successful in life, and when it comes, and then you are teaching them, you think you are a guru or you are something, you have courses or things like that, and you're teaching men to get women, and you yourself, both of them, you put your profiles, fake profiles on sugar daddy sites, and these sites are paid sites. I mean, you have to pay the girls to be with you. So I mean, how much of a hypocrite, you can be, and a grifter. So all these things, they came in public scrutiny, because in internet, when you have a huge, and you are, you can put a mask, but you can put a mask for some time, and people are going to know your real. It might take some time, but in final they are going to get it. And I think that is the same thing happened to both of these idiots.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. We ain't night riders.
Nah,
so
bro, I'm good.
Sometimes if they're red bone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark. If you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And people lost their mind. And then afterwards, after the backlash, Myron's like, listen, what's wrong with having a preference?
When it comes to dating and your personal preferences, no one bats an eye. When women say I want a man that's 6 feet tall, makes a certain amount of money, blah blah blah, those are considered preferences. But if I say, hey man, I don't date black girls like that. Oh, God!
You hate black women. His defense was, it's just my preference in relation to preferring a certain race over another. It definitely does raise eyebrows, but whether or not it's racist is a little bit more nuanced. Attraction isn't necessarily a choice. It's often shaped by personal preferences, experiences, and even societal influence. All things we don't necessarily control. So if someone tends to find people of a certain skin color more or less attractive, that's one thing, and I do feel like it's common to have that to varying degrees, one way or the other. But when you take it to the level of I don't date black women, period, it's a whole different ballgame. Now you're not just talking about a preference, you're outright excluding an entire group of people based solely on the skin color. It's like looking at two identical resumes, same qualifications, same experience, but you toss one aside strictly because they're black. It's a pretty clear-cut case of racism, no? To be fair, Myron did say he preferred lighter skinned women, but he also did say he wasn't down with the brown, and I don't dabble in the dark, which kind of points me in the direction of it being a rule rather than a preference. Black Twitter did not take kindly to this. Yet another big hit in their reputation in the mainstream. But within their niche and their subscribers, this was par for the course. And most of his fans agree with what he said, so nothing really happened. The next big controversy was much like the last. Very damaging for the greater YouTube and Twitter audience, but not so damaging in their own niche, like the ABBA and Preach beef was. This one was levied against them by H3H3, using the info given to them from a girl Myron was trying to get with after the show. Basically, she stayed after the show because she forgot her wallet. In the interest of time.
So H3H3, who is a liberal commentator, he's also for me, he's also a huge hypocrite. I mean, I tell you something. Most of these guys, I won't say all of them, but they are so ingenuine. I don't know if I'm saying the right word. They are so disingenuous. I don't know. They are so they're so, how would I say that, ingenuine, I think is the right word, or disgenuine. um, so you can they're calling each other out on things, and all of them are bunch of hypocrites and grifters. Yeah, none of these guys is genuine.
Time, the whole situation was blown way out of proportion. The girl just came off as someone who was looking for clout. Her story and her actions completely didn't align. She'd say, I didn't want to see him or stay with him, but then ended up in his house. She was so turned off and disinterested. But when he told her to go get mouthwash, she went and did it and then came back. If I listened to her commentary and not her actions, it would be a completely different thing. It was such a bad allegation that even Abba and Priest themselves called it out and defended Fresh and Fit. Despite this, the girl herself even said Myron did not assault her when Ethan tried to goad her to saying it.
This is a very disturbing story, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting, but at that point,
I think he may have assaulted you. I mean, at this point, I
mean, I don't want to say that, but like again, like it was my experience.
He also implicationed you a little bit too. The way they split you guys up, and
yeah,
I think you got implicationed. I think you got Dennis systemed. If you know what that is.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But Ethan kept going with it. He already doesn't like those guys, which don't get me wrong, neither do I. But that's all the more reason we should talk about what he actually did, like the fact he's so desperate to get with girls from the podcast. But yeah, Myron debunked everything. He eventually dropped text that did not align with what she said.
So she contacted me. So how would I demand to get her number if she was the one that contacted me first? But, right? So she's saying, oh, I didn't talk with him. I didn't text him back. Just go play it through real quick, Chris, and we're gonna analyze parts of this conversation later on.
Shout out to Tim Pool, man.
Shout out to our guy Tim Pool. But look, she's not texting me. Look at that. That looks like a conversation to me.
Wow.
Okay. That looks like a conversation to me.
God damn, we got about an SS.
Again, I don't like these two. It was clear she was trying to save face and seem like she wasn't interested when she very obviously was for whatever reason. Even though some people, including Abba and Preach, were on F&F side for this, they're the most hated. So we want to believe they did bad even when they might not have. There's still a subset of people, namely H3H3 and their fans, who maintain he did all this. By this point, Fresh and Fit were reaching their peak or getting close to it. Their name is widely known. In fact, I'd wager that if I spoke to the average person, they'd probably know Fresh and Fit, or at least heard of them, over Abba and Preach. They lost 50,000 subscribers, had gotten that back and then some. Broken into the mainstream many more times with collabs with the Tate Brothers, Brittany Renner, DJ Academics, and other viral videos and kickouts. They were doing what.
Now this Big Mouth Tate, I'm going to do a stream about this guy also, because he is a huge character. I call him how I call him what's it? Yeah, Andrew Big Mouth Tate. That's what I call him. Okay, I'm going to do a stream about him also, and we'll see what he's about.
What they do best and getting rewarded for it. The whole time, Abba and Preach had actually forgiven Fresh and Fit and stopped uploading on them. Just kidding. They were uploading constantly and getting anywhere from 800,000 views to 1.5 million views per video. Myron, although he ignored it for the most part, was pissed. In his eyes, Abba was damaging his brand, cultivating a hate base against him, and eating off him all at the same time. This anger and animosity that honestly was probably a calculated and predicted outcome by Abba finally bubbled over in what I like to call the full-blown self-destruction of the F&F podcast. Up until now, they've at least attempted to course correct on every mistake. The allegations, the false strikes, the lies, the incongruence with their teachings and actions, everything did hurt them, but nothing gave them a fatal blow. But this one right here, this was the beginning of the end, no doubt. Myron invited two people who like to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people to keep it safe on YouTube. Both grifters, both banned off of YouTube, and both extremely racist. I think you're seeing the picture being painted here. They went on a 30-minute racist rant, calling Abba and Preach monkeys, making fun of their looks.
So, you got to be stupid. All these social media sites, they have their set of rules and you have to abide by them. And you have to be, I won't say dumb, but you have to be, the lack of awareness this guy had, that like the things that he's doing, I really don't know how he got away with these things so long, but at the end, all of all of that caught with him, and it's good. It's good because the racist things and all the things, and especially what he's doing here, what that
and anything in between.
What the
disgusting.
every time
So I'll tell you something. In European countries, football, what you call soccer in, I think, in United States, here in Europe they call it football. So it's a huge thing. I think it's the number one sport that they play here, and yeah. So they have players from all over the world in these leagues, European leagues, European football leagues, and they have a lot of black players. So some of this, I won't say all, but there is a very this right wing, ultra right wing crowd, so, and they make this in the stadiums. They sometimes, I think now it's really restricted, but before they used to do these monkey gimmicks, and were these things were targeted at black players, and this guy is doing the same thing. And the irony is that he himself is black. He can't say, I'm Arab, I'm this and that. You are not. You are a black guy like any other black guy. And he is, I think he's mocking himself, You're mocking yourself. So this degenerate guy has a following, a huge following of idiots who follow this type of person. I really don't get it. And and he thinks it's funny. Now that he's cancelled and demonetized, I really don't know how he thinks now. I have a laugh about it, and I'm really happy that they did it. People like this kind of people should never be on any social media site. These are very toxic, very degenerate, and very evil people, I would say.
Zerka himself partook in some good old-fashioned neo-dog whistling, saying Preach needs to evolve and he's overdosing on the warrior gene.
Yo, Reach, you're overdosing on the warrior gene, bro.
And other lovely things just like that. It was so bad even Sneeko seemed uncomfy at times.
Yo, Reach, I don't even believe in this theory, but you gotta evolve. Whoa, you gotta evolve, bro. No, I'm not racist. I'm not racist.
But wait, there's more. But before that, you need some context. These guys didn't just randomly reveal their racist side on a random Monday. No, sir. They were overtly racist often. Dog whistling even more often at every race, but especially black people and Jewish people. Myron, Sneeko, and Zerka look up to this 26-year-old we'll call NF. You see, NF has some less than savory views. I'll just call them some Kanye in 2022 views. His ideas summed up are Semitic people, and by association, black people, and every color people for that matter, is what's wrong with the country. Full stop. Don't ask too many questions.
Okay, so let me say something. Okay, it's my own view. You are welcome to disagree, but especially in United States, I think it's the the color, the ethnicity, and all these things right now is a huge thing. I think like 10, 15, 20 years before, it was really, it was not that it was not such a thing. I think people were very moderate, and there was a good culture. Now what I think happened is that I think it's the politics, and is what enabled this kind of these kind of persons. And what is really dangerous, that many people, when they're going to see this kind of behavior, they will be brainwashed. And if this poison gets into the society little by little, little by little, it will create a huge problem in any country, anywhere. Um, it is very toxic. I think people should respect other people regardless of their color or anything. um, I think life, this is the way to go.
Questions, because it's not meant to be a rational thought grounded in reality or anything besides a mixture of cope and hatred and a want to feel like you know something the rest of the world doesn't know. So I know, you might be wondering, wait, a black guy co-branding with the Latino guy to talk about how that black guy is the worst thing on earth? Yeah, don't try to understand it. Marion doesn't even understand it. NF, his whole MO is plausible deniability, right? He can't outright say it, but he'll say every single talking point. He doesn't believe in the number of specific people killed during the you-know-what. Yes, the most documented and recorded event in world history. Yeah, it's wrong. He knows better. He also thinks that people of color are less than, lower IQ, and criminals. He wants an ethno-state, and he thinks the messianic people are at the head of it all, trying to complete their ultimate plan, which is undermine the white race and world domination. Myron hides behind the idea of, I'm racist to everyone, so it's fine. NF specifically says he's just a race realist, and he deals in the facts of the world, and he loves.
So this race baiting came back to bite him, and now he's what he's doing is he's going on. He started from being pick up guru or teaching men to be men. They say this um, alpha male, whatever whatever it is, and you have to be man. They use these terms like high quality man and things like that. So they started from that. They started insulting the poor girls that used to come on their podcast, and they made a huge sums of money of this toxic behavior. And the worst thing is that um, in all that time, I think they really created a huge toxic culture in men, you know um, because of these two idiots. I won't say idiots, these two grifters, these two yapa yapis, the yap and yap, but there's nothing concrete. There's nothing sound. There's no soul, inside what these people say, because they're such hypocrites, both of them. And now this Mayan guy, he's going on this. He has a new thing now. Now that he's cancelled, he's demonetized, and now he's going to this far right racist, spaces, and he's vomiting his toxic behavior uh, to the bunch that he belongs. Yeah, that's his new stick.
Everyone, and he's a Christian. I guess I missed the passage in the Bible where Jesus said, thou shalt hate all Jews. Thou shalt create an ethno-state. I was more familiar with when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. And the foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, where you were foreigners in Egypt. Meh, probably some Jewish psyop. But yeah, there's 3 rules, guys. So now you understand the backstory, you understand who they look up to, and you understand why they're acting like this. Never ask a woman her age, never ask a man his salary, and never ask an NF why, if it's really just about race and what the racists do, and not the racists themselves, why can we not just kick out every criminal and low IQ person of any race. So yeah, now back to where we were in the timeline. It was after this stream that came another stream, and it was somehow worse. They used every slur in the book. All three of them were there, and wearing a hood over his head and spamming the N-word.
So the kryptonite in this situation is Abba and Preach. I think whatever, I have my own ideas about Abba, but I think one thing that, and I think essentially, Abba went after Fresh and Fit because he also wanted to have his own niche and try to put forward his own whatever his philosophy is, and it's not bad. I won't say it's bad, but I think he's also a grifter. But what one thing they did great, and they really did well, is they really all the facade, all the mask, all this hypocrite and the mask Fresh and Fit have, Urban Preach pull that out, and they were naked in front of people, and I think that was great.
Was somehow worse. They used every slur in the book. All three of them were there, and wearing a hood over his head and spamming the N-word was Myron. I don't even want to play because I know YouTube will not take too kindly to it. It was that bad. So it was all laughs and insults and giggling and roasting at this point, and this lasted a good 2 months. The title of the video that Abba responded to was an end of Fresh and Fit. It wasn't so much a question, but rather a statement.
And guys, we the channel has been kicked off the YouTube Partner Program. I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great.
Okay, so this is what I was telling you guys before. This is epic. Okay, this thing that he's going to say is epic because this thing is going to show you how much of a grifter this guy is. Listen to that. Listen to this thing.
After this stream that came another stream, and it was somehow worse. They used every slur in the book. All three of them were there, and wearing a hood over his head and spamming the N-word was Myron. I don't even want to play because I know YouTube will not take too kindly to it. It was that bad. So it was all laughs and insults and giggling and roasting at this point, and this lasted a good 2 months. The title of the video that Abba responded to was an end of Fresh and Fit. It wasn't so much a question, but rather a statement.
And guys, we the channel has been kicked off the YouTube Partner Program. I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
So saving children was better, but saving you guys is great. And can I let's see it again because I love it. Wait.
I shouldn't be admitting this, but
look how emotional he gets, when he got demonetized. How emotional he gets, like a little bitch that he is, a little girl that he is. I really don't think he's a man, because he doesn't act like a man.
saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better. Has been
was an end of Fresh and Fit. It wasn't so much a question, but rather a statement.
And guys, we the channel has been kicked off the YouTube Partner Program. I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
you know and look at this guy. Cocos, I call him Cocos. Cocos from Barbados. I mean, let's watch it again. Yeah, saving children was great,
and of Fresh and Fit. It wasn't so much a question, but rather a statement.
And guys, we the channel has been kicked off the YouTube Partner Program. I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
Yeah, man, this is tough, bro.
They were kicked off the YouTube Partner Program. 98% of their revenue and their most reliable source of income has been destroyed, and along with that, their growth. What incentive does YouTube have to promote your channel and your videos if you're not making them money anymore? So everything from their traction to their relevancy began to dry up. And for what? To tap dance and insult black people? To wake up the masses to the evil confederation of secret underground messianic people that everyone has been fooled by besides, of course, Myron and Fresh. Yeah, not worth the loss of 70,000 USD monthly if you ask me. Maybe my priorities are just messed up. Everyone with a
So according to this this guy, they were earning about $70,000 a month. Now, you know, make sense about that. All all because of this toxic, degenerate behavior. You know, kicking the girls out, you know, insulting the girls, and being very misogynist. They were making like 70,000 a month. So make sense about that. And this guy, this Tate, you know, Andrew Tate, I think at this time he wasn't that popular. He was just coming, you know, and I think this is his first time coming to a podcast, and he's also a character, you know. I'm going to deep dive into him because I think this guy is more sinister than any of these two guys. In next streams I'm going to talk about Andrew. Okay, so I think I'll be, this is okay, this is my first stream. Please mind my English is not that great because I haven't been, you know, practicing. I don't live in an English speaking country, so I stutter a little bit, but I think with the time I hope I'll be more fluent. So please bear that with me. Okay, I'll be ending this stream, and the last things.
Functioning brain knows this. Even people like Fresh. You see, at this point, facts are starting to show in the relationship between Myron and Fresh. Up until now, Fresh just did whatever Myron said, no questions asked. The extent of his deviation from Myron's orders would be when Myron would talk about how tricking is bad and all women in Miami are promiscuous and for the streets. Fresh would, of course, trick on women and wife up those same Miami girls, and to save face, he'd say, me and Myron don't agree on everything. But now, Fresh just lost a big chunk of his revenue. That's all his cars, his rented Lambos, his penthouse, his jewelry. That's literally him. His only substance was that money. Add on the fact that Myron was the one who was mostly obsessed with the conspiracies, and he really was the one to lead the charge into the alt-right. Fresh kind of felt like Myron led them down a path that wasn't good for them, and he was right. While Myron at least acted like he cared about anything more than just money, stating saving children was good, but it's better to be saving you guys. Fresh didn't.
Okay, so we are going to end here the stream. I'm just going to say comment some of these things. Okay, both of these guys made a lot sum of money, and right now I think they are very desperate and trying to make new trying to I think try to come with new ways to have their income. And this Fresh guy, I think he's starting his own podcast or something like that, and I really I really don't think that he's going to have a huge success because he's also a grifter. I think the weight of the podcast was on Myron, and this guy used to sit there and occasionally he used to say some 2 or 3 sentences in the whole, in the whole podcast. And so we will see what happens. Okay, so thank you everybody. I'm Redman, and I'm going to see you in the next. Hope all of you are good.
Offer anything past frustration about free speech.
I think at some point there was free speech where it was like, okay, you know what? Say what you got to say. We won't crucify you. But nowadays, free speech is kind of like, is it even a thing? I mean, not really.
This is a
Okay, guys. Bye bye.